Alright, I'm watching. Alabama voids votes something something. Alabama voids primary votes to steal election for GOP. It's by Kyle Kalinske of Secular Talk. He's talking how the GOP is being grand and old, alright. They are doing some straight up they are doing more and more of the crap that they're acting. I don't get how they are seriously acting like a straight up. The only reference I have, the only historical reference I have that I can think of is the Nazi Party. I don't really know of any others. I know there have been others. It's happened in other nations before, I'm sure. But they are doing the straight up shit that the Nazi Party did in Germany. That is exactly what they're doing. They're doing it like step by step, like a checklist. They're doing exactly all the fucking things. I mean, it is unbelievable. Like people like, dude, look at everything they're doing. Like, dude, they're just like, yeah, we had an election. We're just not. Just fuck it. Let's just have another one and get it right this time. You're like, dude, are we in fucking school? Like, holy crap. I'm sorry, but this is the reason they sent you. This is the reason you soldiers were sent. First of all, damn. Oh man. I hope all the soldiers that were booted out of the military beforehand are stacking up. I hope you're racked and stacked wherever you are, at your house and stuff. You're like, I'm good to go. I'm waiting for these motherfuckers. And second of all, the soldiers that are fucking out in deployment, whatever. There's no fascist government. Eventually they're going to need you here. National Guard. Eventually they're going to need you back in your home state. So National Guardsmen, I mean that in the gender non-specific. I hope every one of you know you did not swear an oath to the Fuhrer. Alright. Most of you been in service since before Trump 2, maybe even before Trump 1. So if you did, that means you swore an oath to Obama. So just remember, either you serve the Constitution or Obama, so make a fucking decision. And why do you think he was like so kicking people out or asking for their resignation or shit? And I'm not even really that concerned about it because the generals and stuff he kicked out are some of the most competent, experienced ones, and that's all right. I'm sure know they all know each other. They're all in touch, and they're all like, by now, because he did that kicking out like 6 months, a year ago. By now, they're all like, they pay attention. They're like, just in case shit happens, you know, you know. It's like there is like a second military. It's like, the real one that's like not, eh. So, first of all, there's that. And like, dude, these people are incompetent. The ones that you're gonna get, the ones that they're gonna get that are trying to do all these janky ass things. I mean, they're the good old day kind of people, and like he mentioned this in a different video. It was like 19 to 25. It was either 19 to 25 or 19 to 29-year-olds. The approval rating for Trump, maybe Trump and the GOP, is at 12% for that group. Basically because they got nothing. They got like no jobs. They can't eat. They got nothing. And in that post that showed that approval rating thing, the guy was like talking about like you only got millennials and Gen Xers on your side, and it's a them taking care of a hospice wing of Fox News thinkers and Fox News viewers and stuff. And I'm like, well, you basically are just a bunch of the voters that you get are just a bunch of the boomers. It's like the 50-plus-year-olds that are voting for you. And we all know, like 50, 55-year-old vote in like 80+% rate. 80. I mean, it's like you can count on a senior citizen to vote. They don't got shit else to do. They don't got shit else to do except complain about the world. Oh, I got a lot to complain about. And voting is the best way to complain. It's like, I got a lot to complain about. I am going to do it in voting form. Young people complain, but they don't really complain in voting form for some reason. We never did. As you get older and older, you're like, well, I'm going to vote finally. You just, when you're in your 20s, it's just not there most of the time. I mean, I voted since I was 18, I was voting. And then, they discouraged me with Hillary. I think I don't know what that was other than the only thing I could think of was They wanted fewer voters, which is just stupid, by the way. Or they so hated the idea of Bernie. Like, they were like, we cannot stand the idea of someone that is that not playing the game. That we'd rather lose. Plus, they also were like, yeah, we're probably, they're so, Kyle sets high on their supply. And they're like, yeah, we're totally going to win. We're not going to lose to that guy. Arrogance. It's like, dude, the number of Republicans that will change their vote, that will flip to the side of, that will vote Democrat instead of voting Republican is like 4 people in the entire country. So more Republicans will, instead of voting Republican, they will stay home and not vote. That's what you will get. They will just not cast a vote. They'll be like, I'm not voting for a Democrat, but this time I'm just not voting. That's what I did. I'm not going to cast a vote for a Republican, but I will sit out this time. I will abstain. I will consciously abstain. That is the same as casting a vote for either person. If you just plain forget, that's different in and of itself. If you're casting an abstention vote, you're making a choice there. That's the best you can get from a Republican. If your Democratic candidate can make a great case and at the same time say, I am objectively better than your guy, but if I realize you just don't want to cross the line, but what you can do for me is, what you can do for your country is abstain. Stay at home and drink a beer. You can say, you can acknowledge that the party you spent your life devoted to has fucked you over, and they are unwilling to fulfill their obligation to make your life better. And in doing that, they don't deserve your vote. So again, you don't have to cast a vote for me. You can abstain from voting for your guy. So instead of a -1 +1, it's just a kind of a -1 situation. It'd be better if it's a -1 +1, but a -1 is still a better situation. That's why America does not have a mandatory voting system. Because we believe that casting a vote of abstain is totally legal now. I'm betting if we did have a mandatory vote situation, you could probably cast a vote of abstain. There would probably be a place on there to cast abstain or no one or write in or something. Legally, if we did mandate you to vote, there would have to be. You could not. I mean, I would hope you wouldn't just be given two choices. That would be messed up. If you're just given two choices and you have to choose one, and both of them suck, I don't know what I would do. I might have to be like, well, I got shot that day. I couldn't vote. I was stabbed. I was in the ER. Sorry. I was physically incapable of casting a vote, so you can't charge me with breaking the law. I was in the hospital the whole day. Go fuck yourself. Imagine that. Being in a country where you have to stab yourself to get out of voting because you hate the candidates that much. You hate both of your only choices so much that you feel like, well, I gotta stab myself. That's your abstention vote, is I gotta stab myself. And today, voting day, hospitals were overrun with 580,000 people with various injuries, accidental injuries throughout the nation. So, yeah. But, yeah, the Republican Party is just marching on, Goodward soldier, whatever, to, I mean, and and it's June. It's June 2nd right now. So a bit more, 5 months they got to just be, to seriously having dispersed throughout the country to, I guess, I don't know, I don't know how many people in ICE there are, if they're even going to be able to put one or two ICE guys at every polling place, but I don't think it'll have to be every polling place. I think they will, by then, they'll have their guys have plowed through the data and be like, this is where we need to station ICE people in order to make sure the right thing happens and, make sure the poll, um, the ballot boxes get where they need to go. The incinerators. Or where they need to go to be swapped with, whatever they're gonna do, whatever they're gonna pull off, whatever switcheroo they're gonna fucking do. We'll just have to see. mean, they're doing more and more fucked up shit. And, I mean, I don't know. I'm in Texas right now, and I don't know when, I don't know. You Southern folk, you just, how long will you accept shit thrown at you and being washed off by someone just pissing on you and just being like, that's a nice clean shower. Don't it just feel great? I don't know. It's, we're not doing much better up in the north. The Democrat haven states and counties and stuff, cities. It's not like they're uh, shining utopias or anything like that. When I say we're not doing much better, I mean it's basically the same fucking shit. As far as I can tell, it's the same damn thing. People working too much who need to work, and it's just fucking rich people. Rich people coming in to where working people work, and the rich people just bitch about dumb shit. I mean, when I worked at the gas station, I hear rich people shit. And I hear them say dumb crap all the time. Just dumb crap. And I went to high school in I mean, I don't I don't know how to phrase it, but the high school took in. I mean, it wasn't the richest high school in the area. There were high schools that were like richer high school, but it was, like it had an entire big ass parking lot, so that if you could drive to school, if you were a kid that could drive to school, you could have your own parking space, and it was big. Hold on a second. Okay, so yeah, one of the kind of shameful things about that is that I'm smoking a little one. There were a lot of the cars, not all of them. And remember, this is me going there when at 97 to 01. So it's probably changed by now. There's probably this proportion has probably increased. There were a good amount. I can't even really remember. If I say 20%, it could be 50%. But it's probably like the low end is probably like 15 to 20% of the cars, the kids' cars, mind you. And there were probably like 200 to 500 spaces or something like that for the kids. I don't know what it was. There were lots of parking spaces for the kids. A good portion of those cars that the kids drove in were more valuable cars than what any of the teachers would drive. I know that there were at least half a dozen of the teachers that taught there had PhDs. And we're teaching the AP classes. They easily could have taught at a university, not a state university, at a high university. They had PhDs and they were teaching there at a high school. So, and they were getting very good. But they were teaching there for some reason, I don't know. So some of them were, so they were valuable, and they were good teachers. All the teachers there were good. I mean, were good and did care and everything. I didn't understand. No one. I mean, that is neither here nor there. But I mean, but it was it was the late '90s and stuff. So the reason I say that the proportion has probably gone up because you just you can't find cars cheap like that anymore. So like there were probably a good portion of those cars that like the Honda Civic, the mid '90s Honda Civic was like a staple back then. And there were tons of cars like that were very solid, very reliable, very respectably priced. Whether they were, domestic cars, Asian cars, European cars, whatever. Solid cars, totally easily achievable, even if you weren't super rich, upper middle class, doesn't matter what you were. Totally attainable cars. You could get them when they were, 5-ish years used, something like that. And sometimes get them for, I don't know, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 or something like that. And the ones that were 8 years old or something like that, you get them for like $1,500 or something like that. Imagine that, getting a car in this getting a 2015, 2018 car for $1,500 fucking dollars. Be fucking dreaming. $1,500. And I'm talking about a good condition, by the way. I hope that goes without saying. Good condition. Like, that car will last you. As long as you take even decent care of it, you can make that car last for like 5 to 10 years. Pretty easily. My mom bought a Honda Civic, and I don't know how long she drove that, but I think she drove that car for 5 years or something like that, and she traded it in. Somebody else still fucking used that car after she fucking drove it, and it was used when she got it. So, I mean, now if you want to get a $1,500 car, well, I mean, you have to buy one inside of your imagination, and you're probably still going to have to pay $1,500 for it. It's going to be an online virtual car that you're going to pay for inside of a game. that you already paid $750 for. $680 in DLCs, by the way. And then $1,500 for the car for your character. That's the cheapest car you're gonna get. So yeah, whatever. I'm gonna watch the video again, finish it off, and then come back. And Trump was born in 1946, by the way. So just, you know. And so Trump was born a year and 3 months after the death of Hitler. So whatever that means. You can figure from that whatever you want to. All right, whatever. I don't know what else. I'm just recovering still from things and stuff. It rained, so that cooled stuff down, but it's probably going to be sunny for at least a little bit tomorrow, and maybe it'll rain again. But if it doesn't rain tomorrow, and it's just sunny, oh, it's going to be humido mucho. I'm going to make food tomorrow. Mucho comida mañana. Tax rich, ni get rich. Tax wealth, not work. Wealth, not work. Oops.